Earlier today, the students and fans lined up for one. Earlier today, the students and fans lined up for one of the hottest tickets at Littlejohn Coliseum in years. They've supported this team pretty good in ACC games here. It'll be filled to the rafters here today. Welcome back. Steve Martin here along with Walter Davis. Duke and Clemson getting set to go at each other this afternoon. Duke looking for its first ACC win. Clemson for its first ACC win on this floor. Duke will be led by Jeff Capel today, and Jeff had a great game against Carolina.
Yes, he did. Hit that big shot to send it into the second overtime. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well. Wants to change that today.
And of course, Capel, 17 points, including the basket that sent it into overtime. Clemson is led by an outstanding freshman, and I think if you haven't seen Clemson, you're going to enjoy what you see out of Greg Buckner.
Greg Buckner is a slasher-type player, very strong. They must box him out, shooting the ball over 59%.
And we'll be back with the tip-off of the start of this afternoon's game. It's Clemson and Duke, second time around. Clemson looking for a sweep for the first time since 1976. Back at Littlejohn Coliseum, all 11,400 seats are filled for this one this afternoon as Pete Gaudette, the acting associate coach, as Mike Krzyzewski recovers, and Rick Barnes in his first year here at Clemson, and he's taken this place by storm. The Clemson Tigers trying to up their record to 12-6. The series record overall, Duke leads it by a wide margin. They've won 9 of the last 10, but that one that got away from them, of course, was a month ago at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And of course, it was the first win that Clemson had experienced there in 10 years. We have a misfire on the tap, and we'll jump it again. It's Buckner against Cherokee Parks, and therein lies the rub for Clemson all afternoon. Tip's going to be controlled by Duke as Rick Barnes looks on. Tempo will be important. Walter, you said it in our game plan, really. Duke will want to try to establish his tempo early.
Yes, what they're going to try to do is pressure man-to-man. They're going to look for the threes. And yesterday in practice, Coach Barnes wanted a hand in every three-point attempts face.
Now Cherokee Parks makes a statement early with a nice little fadeaway, and Duke is on the board first. Here comes Merle Code. Code, the sophomore out of Greenville, South Carolina. Good steady ball handler. He'll slide over to the 2 when Billy Harder comes into the ball game.
Well, if you're a running team, which Duke is, you hate to play at this type of tempo. Yesterday in practice, Clemson made 11 passes before they made a shot attempt.
And a turnover for the Tigers. One thing Rick Barnes doesn't want to see break out early here is a rash of turnovers for his club. Ball handling is important with the way that they attack the man-to-man.
Yes, early in the year they had a lot of success because they were the team only 12 turnovers a game. The last 2 games they've had 33 turnovers.
Here's Jeff Capel. Tied the ball game up at Cameron last Thursday night against North Carolina with a 3-pointer. Trajan Langdon, who had 5 3-pointers in that game, boarded by Iker Iturbe, who spent a day in the infirmary earlier this week. I know Rick Barnes is concerned about his young team, small team, hitting the wall.
Well, Iturbe, parents flew into Clemson last night. Hadn't seen his parents in a year, and so the coaches are hoping that they can get a good game out of him. They need him to win this game.
He was born in Spain, was an exchange student in Minnesota, and puts Clemson on the board, tying it up at 2-all.
Clemson does a great job of controlling that tempo, waiting for the defense to make a mistake and capitalizing on it.
Here's Capel. He has a clear lane. Basket won't count, but there'll be a foul out front on Merle Code. That'll be his first, team's first. And Capel will put it in. We are tied up early on, Duke and Clemson. Iturbe, arguably Clemson's best defensive player, makes the deflection. Capel, Meek has a step. Foul coming up on Kelly. Therein lies the rub for Clemson defensively all afternoon. They have to prevent Duke from getting the ball in there.
Yes, you'll see Capel makes a nice little quick pass inside. Kelly had his head turned, didn't see the pass, but had the foul. Got away with a little push off there. There's the foul. The first game, Clemson overplayed out front of the Duke big men, and they were able to get a lot of easy basket early in the game. Today, they're going to play on the side to try to discourage that inside pass.
Meek missing the first free throw. Meek on the season, 57% free throw shooter. Started 19 games for the Blue Devils. Rebound comes away to Clemson. Andy Kelly picks it up, and here comes Merle Cole to get the Tigers into their offense. Duke comes out man-to-man. Meek giving Iturbe a lot of room. Kelly covered up by Parks. Interesting matchup. Iturbe pushed to the floor by Meek, no call. Buckner will try a three. Clemson steps out in front, and they'll erect some pressure here. 1-2-2. Cold with the deflection.
Well, that trap is just a little token trap. They just want to try to discourage you, not really looking for the steal, and they're going to get back in their man-to-man.
They don't want you to get in transition anytime soon either.
That's true.
Price recovers. On the blocks, we got a whistle. Travel violation against Duke.
Well, nice help that time for Andy Kelly. He had 3 guys coming in to trip a team on Cherokee Parks, caused him to travel.
He had some room to the baseline that he didn't see, but Iturbe was threatening to cover that up.
Yes.
5-2. Clemson out here in front. 3 minutes gone in this quick-moving first half. Billy Harder down low to Buckner, and we got a whistle and a foul coming up on Trajan Langdon. And into the ball game it comes Harder and also Rayfield Ragland. These are 2 players who see a lot of playing time.
Well, on that play, that ball was reversed very fast and had excellent angle for a nice little bounce pass in there, and that pass is very seldom stolen.
Buckner goes to the free throw line. What a freshman he has been. Second in the ACC in steals, and we're seeing probably the only flaw in his game, and that is foul shooting.
Yes, that's true. This is the 3rd time he's been Rookie of the Week. Just early in the week was named for the 3rd time.
Had a great game against NC State last Saturday. Hits 1 out of 2. That puts the Tigers on top by 4. And again, they'll put that pressure on to keep Duke from getting into that transition game in a hurry, make them work. Price surveying Parks at the top. Langdon's accurate. Rayfield Ragland with a rebound. Averages almost 6 a game. Here comes Iturbe. Hold at the point. Clemson very patient. They'll wind this clock down to its closing seconds. Code measures a shot on Capel. Price with the ball.
That time that shot came a little quick for Clemson. Usually when you take those good shots, you're in good rebounding position and you're back defensively.
Capel at the top. Clemson matching up here early in a man-to-man. Capel looking for Parks. Capel will try a 3. Jeff Capel pulls Clemson to within a point here, 6-5. Almost 5 minutes gone in this first half of action. Rayfield Ragland off to Iker Iturbe. Here's Code for a 3-pointer. Clemson hit 10 3-pointers against Duke the first time that they met. It's a 75-70 Clemson victory. Capel now puts Duke in the lead for the first time this afternoon since the opening bucket.
Well, just a nice one-on-one move. Gave a couple head fakes, got to the baseline. Nice little soft touch by Jeff.
7-6, Duke in the lead. Capel has 5 of those 7 points. Rayfield Ragland at the top. Signed a letter of intent with Auburn to play football. Also a good baseball player as well. Drafted. Decided to play basketball. Rick Barnes is pretty happy about that. Here's Code inside the basket and the foul on Jeff Capel.
A nice pass that time by Greg Buckner into Merle Cole. You see Capel lost his man, turned his head, waited for the defense to make a mistake, and they take advantage of it right away.
Code gets 2. Capel with the foul. That's his first, team second. And Code on the line for the three-point play as Clemson retakes the lead here, 8-7. Earl Code. Ragland keeps the possession alive off the miss. Clemson as a team, a little deficient in free throw shooting. Nice drive by Billy Harder.
Had that move a couple times in practice yesterday, and the coaches wanted him to, if there's a big man there, to pull up and take the little jump or create that space so you don't get it blocked. But that time we're able to reverse, make a great play.
Price comes back with a three for Duke. And the Tigers are tied here at 10. Ricky Price, outstanding freshman from Carson, California, averaging 8 points a game. Harder, the transfer from Furman, off to Kelly. Plenty of time on the shot. Ragland will take it in. Rejected by Meek, who's got a whistle. Foul coming up, I believe, on Ragland.
So I think he got the charge that time. Gave a nice little head fake to get past Meek.
We've got a break in the action with 6 minutes gone in this first half of play. Score tied at 10. We're back after this message from Budweiser. Welcome back to Littlejohn Coliseum. Steve Martin here along with Walter Davis. Duke and Clemson, second time around, and it's opening up pretty much as Clemson wants it to. They're governing the tempo of this game.
Yes, they're doing it both offensively and defensively with the little token trap. Not trying to cause any steal, but just throw Duke off.
Jeff Capel settling the Blue Devils down as they face the man-to-man. There's the field goal percentage. Not much to choose from as far as three-pointers go. Duke has a pair. Capel has one of them. He takes the baseline. Meeks with, or rather Newton now into the ball game. We have a whistle and a foul, and it is, I believe, going to be on Newton.
The Clemson team really packs it in. Once the guy penetrates, they see both man and ball very well using their peripheral vision. They pack it in there, and they have to do that because of the size of their team.
Newton, the 6'11 sophomore from Niagara Falls, Ontario. Into the ball game now, and Meek is out. Ragland, Kelly, Harder, Buckner, and Martin in the ball game for Clemson. Here's Andy Kelly. Harder could not find Greg Buckner, and it's a throwaway. The second turnover for Clemson this afternoon. Third, actually, if you count the offensive foul.
That was a miscue that time. Greg Buckner was cutting towards the basket when Harder made that pass.
Clemson with 3, Duke with 1. Trajan Langdon, Ricky Price, 2 great freshmen here for Duke. Parks inside. Newton cashes in. And a foul to boot. The foul is going to be on Andy Kelly.
Well, you see Cherokee Parks get the ball inside. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in there. That leaves the lane open for Newton to come through for the slam.
Nobody to block him off. Kelly with his second. And Greg Newton. It's a chance for the three-point play, putting Duke up. Does not get it, but the Blue Devils have it by 2. Ike Turbe. There's Martin off with it to Code. Buckner got by Langdon. Foul coming up. It's going to be on Ricky Price.
The head was turned that time by Langdon. Buckner attacks the basket that time. There's a late whistle on that call. Maybe the official thought the baseline official was going to make that call, but that was a good call.
I'll tell you one thing that impresses you about Clemson right off the bat, Walter, and that is the fact they move very well without the ball.
Yes, they have to do that. And they have not really a very quick team, but they really play very well together, and they take care of the ball. And they have to do that today to win.
Code and Buckner especially know when a defensive player's made a lapse, and Buckner gets a pair of back-to-back hits, his 6th point of the game, and ties it up for the 3rd time in this first half at 12 all.
See, this trap is really a 1-2-2, but they disguise it with a 1-1-2 to keep the guy in the middle. They don't want to get that pass into the middle. They want it to go up the baseline, the sidelines.
Price works the baseline. Got a whistle and a foul underneath. It looked like it's going to be on Cherokee Parks. Well, he gave Iturbe a little bit of a push.
Yeah, they're both doing a little wrestling inside.
And Parks picks up the first foul. That's the 5th team foul on Duke. Iturbe out front. Martin, still plenty of time. They'll make a lot of passes. They'll put the ball on the floor and put themselves in position. They look for a good shot. We've got a whistle and a foul. Newton crunched Code as he went to make a cut.
He gave him a real nice forearm that time, cutting through.
That's Newton's second. Team 6. Next one brings out the 1-and-1. So we've got a break. Timeout on the court with 11:55 left to go in the first half, and we're still tied at 12 at Littlejohn. We're ready to get back into action here at Clemson. Clemson and Duke tied at 12. Clemson with the ball under its own hoop. And there's a difference, really, Walter, in the way that Duke is responding defensively to Clemson this time around.
Yes, you see right here, rebounds. Clemson 7, Duke 4. And Clemson is 9-0 when they out-rebound their opponents. But, Steve, you got to that point. Duke was overplaying Clemson that first game, and maybe they got a little tired. And they're just staying in the passing lanes now. Didn't want to get that backdoor cut. And
that's exactly what Clemson wants to do. That's what they want to accomplish out of their offense. The rebounding statistics significant. 3 on the shot clock for Butler's 3, and Parks stretches high for the rebound. Significant because we talk about the matchups and the height advantage that Duke enjoys here underneath. Trajan Langdon for 3.
Well, that's nice concentration by Langdon. Lloyd Cole fell to the floor and still maintained his concentration.
That's the 3rd three-pointer for Duke this afternoon, and the Blue Devils lead it here 15-12. Cole working patiently with Ragland. Buckner was ready to make his move. The pass was behind him. Here's Iturbe forcing some action baseline. Cole yields on the 3. Ragland out front. Now Duke can get into transition a little bit. Or they can attempt to slice Clemson apart with their half-court game and the big towers inside. Here's Capel. Shot clock now under 10. Parks stolen by Greg Buckner.
Great anticipation that time on that pass. Cherokee Parks brought the ball down and stolen right away.
There's Rayfield Ragland now. And coming up at halftime, stay tuned for the Continental Airlines Fast Takes contest brought to you by Continental, the official airline of the ACC. Here's Martin for 3. Martin hit 5 three-pointers against Carolina last year, so he's got the talent in three-point land. One of the best three-point shooters that Clemson had.
He made every shot in a half-court set offense practice yesterday. He's just an outstanding shooter.
Langdon off of his 3. We've got a rebounding foul on Cherokee Parks, and that's his second. And that's the 17th foul.
Yes, Turbe got a good little swat right there. Cherokee head. He wasn't happy with that call. He felt like he should have got the call first.
So Parks goes to the sideline with his second foul, and Iturbe up to shoot the 1-and-1. 15-12, Duke in the lead. 9:27 left to play here in this first half. Season at its midway point as far as ACC play is concerned, but it's not at mid-season with the way these guys have been playing, because actually you're 2/3 of the way through counting on conference.
Yes, that's true.
Iturbe hits the front half of the 1-and-1. Newton boards the miss. Clemson now 4 for 7 on the stripe. Duke is 0 for 3. Chris Collins in the ball game now for Duke. Buckner gets in the passing lane and knocks it out. 22 on the shot clock when Duke inbounds.
You have to be careful with that ball. around Buckner and Cole. They're one in the top 5 in the steals in the ACC.
Cole, I think, is 4th. Buckner is 2nd.
Yes.
Steve Wojciechowski is in the ballgame now for Duke, along with Collins. Collins sets up a 3. Turbe with a rebound. Collins started the season off with a foot injury, and it took him a while. A lot of people were surprised that he came back at all.
Well, he struggled as of late because of the injury. I think his timing is off, and you have to get back into this basketball shape in the ACC. But he's a great shooter. You have to keep him in front of you.
Clemson works the shot clock down under 10. They trail here by 2. Cole trying to take Collins off the dribble. Ragland for 3. Turbe tipped the rebound out to Harder for the rewind.
That's what good shots do. You see, Turbe was there for the offensive board. A good shot, you're in good rebounding position.
That's important when you're giving away 5 to 7 inches inside.
You know it.
Clemson's tallest man out there, 6'7". He's got the ball right now. Again, shot clock down to 10. They don't even look to the basket till that time. Cole blocked off there by Collins for the board.
Cole is looking to shoot more than he did last year. Looks like he's more comfortable out there with the basketball.
Here comes Jeff Capel for a 3. He cans it. Capel's second 3 of the game. He has 8 for the afternoon, and Duke lengthens its lead to 5. The one problem with this type of offense that Clemson employs is it's hard to erase a big deficit.
Yes, it is, and it's awful tough also to get, if you get behind, to get your 6th man into the game.
Turbe baseline. Rayfield Ragland at the top. Shot clock shows 15. Turbe finds Code underneath, and a foul coming up on Chris Collins. That's the 18th foul on Duke.
Well, we couldn't see that play initially, but it was a good backdoor screen that time to get Cole open.
And Cherokee Parks is back in the ballgame, playing with 2 fouls. Merle Code on the line. Stay tuned at halftime when Dick Vitale presents the DirecTV Dish Out the Winners sweepstakes. Dick will dish out the winners.
Clemson has missed some free throws here early in the game, and usually Clemson is a pretty good free throw shooting team.
Shooting around 68% from the stripe. Code hits the second, and we've got a timeout on the court. It's 18-14, Duke in the lead here by 4. We'll be back to Clemson after this message from Budweiser. ACC basketball is brought to you in part by CarQuest Auto Parts.
Well, one of Clemson's strategy to pack it in and to make Duke an outside shooting team. And you want to try to make them shoot the threes, but this time Jeff Capel buries it.
That's the 4th three-point basket for Duke in this first half. They are 4 for 6. It's almost a direct turnaround from what happened in the first game when Clemson was 10 out of 15.
Yes, that's true. I think Duke may have taken them a little lightly, and also that was early in the year, and Duke had gone to Hawaii, played in a tournament there, and they could have been a little tired right there at the end in the second half.
Well, Duke's got a 4-point lead to sit on right now. Wojciechowski has it and loses it, an unforced error toward the Clemson sideline. Pete Gaudet probably has a few more gray hairs than when this season started.
Well, he definitely didn't like that turnover. He immediately got up and is going to get Kenny Blakely into the game.
Merle Code has it at the top of the floor. Clemson trying to stay close. If this were a football game, you were talking time of possession.
Yes.
It would be overwhelming in Clemson's favor. They've had the ball most of the way this first half, which is how they like it. We've got a foul underneath. And the foul, I believe, is going to be on Eric Meek. And Meek commits his first.
Nice little head fake that time, put the ball down with his left hand, got to the basket. He took the ball to the hole very strong, which enabled him to get that foul.
Ikar Turbe is on the line. That's the 19th foul on Duke now here. With 6:42 left to go. Turbe, native of Spain, as we said earlier, his parents flew over here today. But he spent some time in the infirmary earlier this week.
Yes, bothered by the flu just a little, but Coach Barnes said we need him to play if we're going to have any chance of winning this game.
And Merle Code gets the rebound off the 2 missed shots. Clemson may get 2 anyway.
Well, I think Clemson is 5 of 11 now from the free throw line. Duke is 0-3.
Martin with Harder, Code, Turbe, and Buckner. 3-pointer doesn't go. 1 for 7, Clemson, but they get another offensive rebound.
That was Bill Harder that time, hustling to tap the ball out again.
Clemson has the overall rebounding edge, but Parks has the steal. Wojciechowski in the middle of the floor, almost walked. And Kenny Blakeney will try to control things from the outside, the senior out of Washington, D.C. Here comes Parks, triple team. And does not get any mercy from those supposedly soft rims.
Yes, they're very soft rim. I talked to you at the beginning of the game. I like the way that this is very forgiving, but that time, not for Cherokee.
Code with it. Clemson hanging in their 4-back on their home floor, trying to get their first ACC win on the home floor. They've had 2 on the road. Bruce Martin. Code gets by Collins on the dribble. Walk with the ball. Rare turnover for Code.
You see, he gets right past Collins, thinks he can beat him off the dribble, but there's the walk right there, that little hop.
Saw Meek, saw Parks, and saw Steps. Coming into the ball game, Danny Johnson, the freshman from Morganton, North Carolina. That's the 5th Clemson turnover now. Duke has 3. Clemson now seated back in the zone. Ricky Price. Turbe with the rebound.
Clemson is doing an excellent job of positioning themselves because of the size disadvantage and really taking advantage and winning this battle on the board so far.
Earl Code gives up the alley at the top. Here's Johnson. Turbe gets a step on Meek, pulls up and hits. Turbe with 5. Clemson now trails by 2.
Well, he's just a player that plays very well for his age. He's got a lot of experience, and that play was set up by a nice head fake.
Got a whistle and a foul underneath. Foul is going to be on Clemson. I think it's going to be on Turbe. Ike Turbe picking up the foul, his first, team's 5th. Langdon into Parks, but Turbe is there. Ball loose. Clemson up with it. Clemson collapsing in the zone, surrounding Parks and forcing the turnover.
Well, that's an advantage for Clemson since they're so small, closer to the ground, able to out-hustle Duke for those loose balls.
Johnson, he's matched up with Parks. Here comes Buckner for 3. And again, Turbe gets a hand on the ball. He doesn't capture the rebound, Walter, but he makes sure his team gets it.
Right, and that's good floor balance by the Clemson Tigers. And you know, they know where the men are, and they're tapping them right to it. There's 3 straight times.
Turbe on the handle. Will try to bring Meek out with him. 15 on the shot clock. Turbe, nice dribble drive, but a block by Meek. Good defensive play by Eric Meek.
And the help was there that time by Cherokee Park. He really helped Eric Meek to get that block by slowing him up. You see right there.
Meek comes out, Newton is in, and we've got a break in the action with Duke hanging on to a 2-point lead. Back after this message from CarQuest Auto Parts. Let's take a look at an MCI proof positive instant replay featuring Ike Turbe.
Well, that was a pass right there from Bill Harder. Ike made a nice little head fake, got Meeks to go for it up in the air, took the ball to the hole, pulled up for the nice little jumper.
With good footwork, and that first move was enough to get Meek to commit. Martin trying to buy a foul or a basket, whichever comes first. Parks gets the rebound.
Well, had to take that shot. The shot clock was going down, and usually you don't see Clemson take a shot like that.
The basket will be waved off. It's a foul on Greg Newton. That's his third.
Well, Langdon makes a nice little penetrating move, but the help is there to cut him off. And there you see it. Greg Newton goes over the top, tries to make that tip.
His third personal. And Buckner going to the line with the 10th team foul against Duke. He's up for 2. It looked that time, Walter, like Duke wanted to get in transition badly.
Yes, they do. As a former player, you don't like to play this style of play because you can't wait till you get your hands on the ball offensively to make something good happen.
Buckner pulls Clemson to within 1, and now we've got a new ball game. 8 points for Greg Buckner. Jeff Capel checks back into the Duke lineup, and they'll get a little smaller all of a sudden as Newton goes to the sideline. And it looks like Pete Gaudette has made a very conscious maneuver here to get a quicker team on the floor, a smaller team on the floor to get things done. Blakeney to Price, now Capel. Whistled, and foul inside. I believe it's going to be charged to Ragland. Yes, it is. Rayfield Ragland with his second foul. Duke's done a pretty good job on Rayfield Ragland. He is normally an 11-point scorer, and he has yet to score in this ball game for Clemson.
Well, he's Clemson's go-to guy. He's doubly tough, can shoot the ball from the outside, and takes it strong to the hole.
Jeff Capel at the top. Duke and Clemson tied for the 4th time in this first half at 18-all. Jeff Capel. Looking for Price. Price has the baseline. Duke's getting good looks. Buckner picks up the loose ball with help from Harder. Blue Devils are getting good looks on the baseline, Walter. Those shots aren't falling. They're good shots.
Yes, there are good shots. They're being very patient. Just not falling for the Blue Devils right now.
They haven't had a shot fall for them in the last 5.5 minutes. Earl Cole, 6 on the shot clock. From the corner for 3, Earl Cole invents something out of nothing. And Clemson retakes the lead at 21-18.
I'm sure Rick Barnes thought that's exactly the way I had that play drawn up.
The Duke drought continues. It's in its 6th minute. Parks for 3. Buckner with the rebound. Duke ice cold. Minute 29 left to go here in the first half. Clemson winds down that clock ever patiently. You know, right guard Stuart Powers proud to present the ACC Player of the Week. Look for this feature prior to the second half tip-off. Duke hopes they score prior to the second half tip-off. Cole working on Capel. Shot clock at 7. This time he wasn't as fortunate. Here comes Capel running the break. Cole to bother him. Under a minute to play in a fast-moving first half. 24 on the shot clock. Capel trying to tie it up, and he does.
Well, that was an NBA 3 that time.
That's his third three-pointer. He has 11 to lead all scorers. And we're tied for the 5th time in this first half at 21 all. That solves a 6-minute and about 15-second drought for Duke. Harder at the top. Shot clock and game clock now are even. Martin and Harder out front, watching the clock work away. They're in a 1-4 offensive set now. Harder, 6 in the shot clock. Cole gets a second crack at it. The tip by Buckner. That does the first half. Greg Buckner puts a punctuation mark on Clemson's first half effort as the Clemson Tigers lead it on Greg Buckner's 10-point, 23-21 at intermission.
Today's ACC action is brought to you by Food Lion, by Ford, by Central Fidelity Bank, by BP Oil, and by Right Guard. Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports' exclusive coverage of ACC basketball is brought to you by Bud Light, by Plymouth Neon, by Discus Athletic, by DirecTV, by Continental Airlines, and by Nationwide Insurance.
Welcome back to Littlejohn Coliseum in Clemson, where it is Clemson leading Duke here at. We start the second half, 23-21. Walter, if usually Clemson's got to feel good by what they've accomplished, plus against the big line, they've got a lot of fouls to give against those big people underneath.
Yes, they do. No, only Greg Newton is really in foul trouble with 3, but Clemson likes this pace. They like the way they're playing. You see right there, nice backdoor cut.
That's what Clemson's bread and butter is. Buckner leads all scorers with 12. Andy Kelly with a nice pass inside.
Well, Duke has got to find a way to get this tempo to increase a little bit, and that's going to be to their advantage.
25-21, they try to take it into Parks. Obviously, Pete Gaudet and the staff said, let's take it into where we're the strongest.
You're right. In noticing Clemson's defense, they're not waiting till Cherokee gets the ball. They're coming on the pass with 2 or 3 guys sometimes.
Langdon picks up the deflected pass. 16 on the shot clock after the deflection out of bounds. Capel for 3, looking for his 5th of the afternoon. Meek can't get the rebound, jump ball. Possession will go to Duke. Possession arrow pointed in Duke's direction, so the Blue Devils will get it back.
Look for a screen on the baseline for Jeff Capel. He can go either way.
Instead, they go out to Price and entice the foul from Buckner. That's going to be his first. And Duke will get possession. But as we said, Clemson has fouls to burn here. Turbe only has 1. Kelly has 2. Buckner now has picked up his first.
And by having the foul trouble not in any foul trouble, you can still be really aggressive offensively and defensively.
Try to match what Duke is trying to do offensively. There's Cherokee Parks. A 3-pointer by Cherokee Parks, his first. He has 5 points this afternoon. Parks, who normally averages 20 points a game and leads the ACC. Ikera Turbe out front.
Merrill Cole lost his shoe that time on a cut.
He gets that repaired. Oh, he did it without even time.
Right.
Kelly with 10 on the shot clock. Turbe bothered by Meek. Cole will have to do something with it now. Ball goes out of bounds, and it is going to be. It was last touched by Duke, but it's a 35-second shot clock violation. It's going to go back to Duke. Now, Rick Barnes is saying he kicked it out. Now, the difference being, if it's kicked out, you'll get a recycle of that 35 clock.
Well, you see right there, Merrill Cole just bounces it right off of Eric Meek's foot that time.
Important distinction. Rick Barnes is asking everybody to come over and talk about this. He says it went off a Duke's player's foot. Shot clock violation or no, that means we get the ball in a recycle, doesn't it, ref? That's what he's saying. It looked like it went off Meek's ankle.
Yes.
Now they're going to bring Pete Gaudet out. They're going to bring both coaches together and talk about this. Now the question is, Yeah, obviously, Meek did not seek to. That wasn't a problem of Eric Meek's making.
No, not at all.
I mean, Merle Code wanted that to happen as he tried to slip it to the baseline. Now the question is, for Pete Gaudette, it's going to be Clemson ball with 1 second on the shot clock. Well, the officials, I think, made the right call. There was 1 second left. Now Clemson will have to just catch and throw it at the hoop. They have 1 second on the shot clock.
Well, these guys are executing their offense, and one of the officials is still talking.
Well, it was a good decision by the officials, and they didn't have the benefit of replay as we did.
Right.
They did an excellent job recollecting what happened on the play, and they've set it up. And now Clemson will get 1 second. Buckner almost got it. Here comes Capel.
Nice try.
So the Blue Devils breathe a sigh of relief. Here's Parks trying to get on track, and he picks up the foul. Now, did it happen outside the three-point distance?
I think once he took that dribble in, after he got the initial, got it up in the air, he got inside the three-point line. You'll see right there.
And Andy Kelly has picked up his third. We said there was no foul trouble on Clemson, and now quickly one of the forwards slips into that pattern. Iturbe comes out. Rayfield Ragland is back into the ball game.
Andy Kelly is a very smart player, and he's the type of guy that can play with those 3 fouls. He plays within himself and is a great role player.
Came out of Chowan Junior College, where he played for Bob Burke. Parks makes the free throw. He has 6 on the afternoon, and he ties this ball game up. Looking to put Duke back in the lead, cannot do it. Merle Code with the rebound. 6th tie of the day unofficially. These two teams, neither one of them's had a lead of more than 5. Martin. Buckner will post up on Langdon. Meek comes over to help and gets the block, and we have a whistle and a foul.
I think that was over the back on Cherokee Parks.
That's going to be his 3rd.
You see, it's great defense that time by Langdon. A little help there from Eric Meek, and there's the foul. Cherokee reaches over.
Well, 2 of the 3 big men for Duke now with 3 fouls. Newton on the bench with 3. Parks in the game. A little over 2 minutes gone in the second half. Score tied at 25. Code will try out a 3. And the rebound comes away to Price. Parks for 3. Rims are not forgiving for Cherokee Parks this afternoon. I know Walter would like to go out and take a couple shots at those things. But
well, that's what Duke likes. You see, they rush that shot, but they love taking 3s out on the break.
Normally, they feel they can board the 3, miss on the 3. They should be able to with their size, but Clemson has denied that opportunity to them this afternoon. For 3, Bruce Martin.
Nice ball movement that time. Patient with the offense once again. Bruce Martin knocks down the 3.
28-25, Clemson out on top. Here's Trajan Langdon and a foul out front on Andy Kelly. And Kelly has... No, it's going to be on Bruce Martin. I'm sorry, that's his 1st. That's the 3rd team foul. Duke is 6 for 12 from 3-point range. Clemson 3 for 11. That's a reversal of their first game that they played. The inbounds to Trajan Langdon. Langdon, the freshman out of Anchorage, 28-27. Clemson in the lead here by 1. Rayfield Ragland, who's yet to score in this game, out at the top of the floor. This is Code over Meek. Merle Code has 8, and Clemson puts their lead up to 3 again.
Clemson kind of lulls you to sleep, and then they'll make a good, quick, strong move, get the defense off balance and score.
1 out of every 5 possessions they'll shoot with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Yes.
Capel now. The question is, how long can Duke maintain their presence? They're a poised veteran team inside, with 2 young, exciting wings in Langdon and Price. But the 3 from Capel, his 4th, giving him 14 for the game, ties it for the 7th time at 30.
That was a nice screen at the corner of the ball to get Jeff open for that three-point shot.
Here's Andy Kelly. Kelly playing with 3 fouls. Cherokee Park still on the floor with 3. Duke can ill afford to make a run or maintain themselves in this game with Parks on the bench. Earl Code, 9 on the shot clock now. He's got Capel with him in the corner. Tries to create penetration, and Price with a nice steal. He'll get a breakaway. And Duke moves back out in front, 32-30.
Now that's nice anticipation to step in that passing lane by Price. Get a little easy basket. I know Duke loves that. They haven't had many easy buckets all night.
Code got the penetration he wanted, but he couldn't find the cutter. Ragland now out front. Shot fake by Kelly. Kelly for 3, and Meek with the rebound. Now the momentum starting to swing a little bit in the Blue Devils' direction. Important possession here. If Duke can take a 2-possession lead, maybe a 3-possession lead, and start dictating tempo to Clemson. Capel will do just that, or try to anyway. Code rebounds the miss. Rayfield Ragland finds Kelly down low. Clemson may want to also work on Cherokee Parks, who's got 3. Kelly's seen a lot of touches.
Yes, he has, but he's not a player that's going to look to score a lot of points. He's just going to take what the defense gives him.
He gave a nice shot fake that time, got in the paint. He's been locked in there. Here's Ragland. And it's going to be Duke ball, I believe. No, it's going to be Clemson ball as substitutions come in. We've got a timeout on the court with Duke leading Clemson 32-30 with 13:56 left to go in the game. Another short order possession coming up for Clemson with 5 on the shot clock. They get a good pass into Buckner for the basket. 14 points for Buckner. We have our 8th tie of the game at 32.
Well, that's what happens when you turn your back on the inbounds pass. They throw it right by your ear, and that 5 seconds, that's a lot of time to get a good shot.
Kenny Blakeney and Chris Collins into the Duke lineup now. Blakeney with a nice penetration move takes Martin to the hole and burns him. Blakeney with 2, his first bucket of the game, and Duke back out in front.
Nice little head fake to get for Kenny to get that layup that time. Set everything up with a nice head fake.
Ikara Turbe turns it over now to Martin. Here's Martin for a 3, his second 3-pointer of this second half. 5th 3-pointer of the game for the Tigers, and Clemson retakes the lead 35-34.
That was a side screen that time, moving to his left, shoots the ball very well.
Clemson now extending the floor with their defense. Here's Blakeney in the open spot. Meek gets the rebound. Whistle and a foul coming up, and it's on Harder. Harder with the foul. That's going to be his first. That's the 4th team foul as Kelly and Buckner come out. Chris Collins on the handle, top of the floor. Capel baseline. Turbe with the rebound. Clemson continues to rebound well.
Jeff Capel takes the ball out of bounds. He has the option of going either way because he gets those screens in the lane.
Clemson now with the ball out at the top of the floor. Harder to Iturbe. Duke still in that man-to-man. Clemson taking its time. Now the shot clock showing 10. Cole, nice penetration. They want to take it on Meek, and Meek rejects Iturbe's shot. Beautiful block by Eric Meek. Well, it's time to play fast takes. Identify the player that appeared in the Continental Airlines halftime feature. Call 1-800-836-3ACC. Within 24 hours to enter. Your secret code is 18. Good luck. Iturbe with 2 on the shot clock. The 3 doesn't work. Capel takes the rebound from Ragland. 35-34. Amazing stat here, Walter. 10 field goals for Clemson over Duke this game. 7 of them have been three-pointers.
And I think what they've done is really not even look to the inside. I thought they were going to do a much better job of getting the ball inside because of the height advantage, but they're settling for the outside shot, and that's what Clemson wants them to do.
Foul is coming up against Clemson, and it's going to be on Merle Code. That's his second. We've got a break in the action with 11:53 left to go in the second half. That's Clemson's 15th foul. The Tigers lead it by 1. We'll return after this message from Continental, the official airline. Here's a look at the "you'll love this stuff" play. We're talking defense by Eric Meek.
Well, Cole gives a good little pass inside. You see, nice fake, just Cherokee off his feet, but there's the other twin tower for the block.
Inside defensively, Duke has been equal. Offensively, they really haven't tried to post the ball up inside much at all. Been content to settle for things from the perimeter so far.
Well, Clemson's done a good job of packing things in there, and like I said earlier, they're going on the pass, not waiting until the big man gets the ball.
Clemson right now camped out in a zone. They were showing man early. And locked out of bounds by Code. 15 on the shot clock. Clemson leading Duke 35-34. 11:33 left to go here in this second half. Here's the field goal percentage. Neither team anything to write home about in this second half, but Clemson just doing enough to stay ahead. They got 12 cracks at it, and they're boarding their misses. Capel with 9 on the shot clock. Looks for Collins, but the steal from Merle Cole.
He had his hand on a pass earlier in that possession, too, and came up with the steal that time.
Averages 2 a game, 4th in the ACC in steals. Ragland, amazingly enough, 11 points a game coming into this game. He has not scored. He's 0 for 3. A whistle and a foul is going to be charged to Kenny Blakeney. That's his first. Second on Duke. Collins comes out. Trajan Langdon is in. Ricky Price is in. Jeff Capel will get a rest. Possession arrow to Clemson. The foul situation. Clemson has 5 team fouls. Duke has 2. Iker Iturbe chases it into backcourt. The freshman from Plymouth, Minnesota, by way of Spain, gives it up. Buckner back on the floor.
Clemson's doing an excellent job in practice yesterday. Coach Barnes wanted him to hit the open man right away and not a lot of dribbling.
Not a whistle and a foul underneath. It's against Duke. And this one again, I believe, is going to be on Kenny Blakeney. Second foul on Blakeney, 3rd on Duke. Clemson gets a fresh 35-second clock.
When you play against a team with the style of Clemson, you really got to move your feet. You don't want to reach, and that's how you get in serious foul trouble.
And you know they're going to space out the floor properly, and that's what they're doing.
They're going to spread the floor because all these guys can shoot from the outside, and plus they can put it on the floor, take it to the hole.
They spread, they cut, they screen.
Look for each other. They play very well together.
Duke just has to be patient. There's plenty of time left. They're patient for something like that to happen. Trajan Langdon. The basket will not count, but there's a foul on Clemson beforehand. Billy Harder picking it up, I believe. Bill Harder, I think. Nice play by Trajan Langdon that time.
Yeah, stepped into the passing lane that time, guessed right, got a hand on it, was able to recover to get that foul.
The foul is on Merle Code, and that is his 3rd 16 foul against Clemson. Blakeney. Not play against Carolina, but he's in here to try to provide some live legs to this Duke team. He's be doing the job. Penetrates. There's the delivery to Parks. There's very little Clemson can do to stop that.
That's the first time the guards have really gotten into the paint to create something good for themselves.
The lead change. Duke back out on top with 2 unanswered baskets. Neither team has gone on a run of 4 or more. Harder at the top of the floor, and again, Clemson with great patience. They're going to execute their offense. Pass, cut, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Harder penetrates and entices a foul on Ricky Price. The dribble penetration forces the defender to commit.
also for the Duke Blue Devils, they're playing a long time on the defensive end, and that kind of wears you out also.
Blakeney and Meek go out. Newton with 3 fouls, and Jeff Capel come back in for the Duke Blue Devils. Harder throws it all the way into backcourt. Buckner with it. Ragland. Again, Clemson just holds, looks, patiently waits. Harder had an open look, drives and delivers.
They saw that opening with that nice head fake, and he quickly took the ball to the hole to score that time.
Another lead change. Clemson back out on top by 1, 37-36. Langdon splits the defense and draws the foul, and it's on Code. That is 4 on Merle Code. Merle Code with the foul, and he'll have to come out. Coming out with him is Greg Buckner. Andy Kelly and Bruce Martin check into the Clemson lineup. That's the 7th team foul now on Clemson.
You see right here, Langdon makes a good penetrating move into the middle. Cole's not there to draw that charge. Didn't have great position, got the foul on himself.
Code, who's an excellent off guard, good defensive player. Langdon missed the free throw. Duke has had very little success from the foul line tonight. 1 for 6 from the stripe. They haven't gone there enough, and when they go there, they're not doing much with it. Harder has a screen. Wants a closer shot. Iturbe. 10 on the shot clock. Offensive foul on Iker Iturbe. That's his second.
Greg Newton moves his feet very well. Gets in there, dips his shoulder. That's an easy call for the official.
That's the 8th team foul against Clemson. If there's an Achilles heel in what they try to accomplish today, the foul trouble to Code and the fact that they're going to they've got Duke in the bonus and possibly more after the 10th foul. Langdon can't hit the shot. A foul over the back, I believe, on Cherokee Parks will be his 4th.
See, the outside shot comes here. Good rebounding position. We've seen that 3 or 4 times. Cherokee Park reaches over the top.
Clemson by 1. We'll be right back after this message from Bud Light. Let's take a look at an MCI proof positive instant replay. The transfer from Furman, Billy Harder, makes this happen with penetration.
Yes, and he made a nice little head fake. Got the guy up in the air, took the ball very strong to the hole before the defense could recover.
Harder has 4 points on the afternoon, and Clemson now has the lead, 37-36. Harder, the transfer from Furman, whose mother's on the faculty here at Clemson.
Dad's a doctor here also.
Team physician, is
yes.
he not? Harder to Bruce Martin. Again, Clemson looking at a zone now. Duke changes up as Iturbe finds Ragland on the baseline for his first bucket of the afternoon.
And that time, Cherokee Parks normally would go for that block because of the foul trouble. Had to let Ragland just make the layup.
That's one of the decisions that Pete Gaudette decided to make, to keep Parks in the game. Will hide him in a zone. See how that works. Clemson in the zone as well. 7:11 to play. Parks changes a shot into a pass and saving it before a backcourt violation. And finally Parks goes out of bounds. That's a great play near midcourt by Duke. They touched it.
Well, usually after Cherokee makes that, you see he goes into the stands. But initially, you try to talk to one of the guys and say, I got it, and you stay on the other side so you don't get a back floor call.
Duke with 6 turnovers, Clemson with 7. Clemson with the ball in the lead as the clock now starts to hurry away. Again, Duke is in a zone. 1-2-2 with Capel at the top of the floor.
See if they try to free Mark up for a free shot.
Clemson has to get it done with passing instead of dribble drive penetration. And Kelly throws it away. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports. Any use of this broadcast without their express permission is prohibited. Not the announcers, Raycom and Jefferson Pilot Sports. Here's Ricky Price. Duke trying to forge its way back into the lead. Trajan Langdon faces the zone. Price trying to work it into Parks. Near backcourt violation. Capel saves it again. 5 on the shot clock. Big block by Andy Kelly.
You see right here, Kelly gets off the ground, times that beautifully before Ricky Price could get that shot off.
Buckner is back in the ball game now. Kelly off the floor. 2 on this possession on the shot clock for Duke as they inbound. A pass and a shot for Langdon. Ragland with the rebound. And the faithful for the Tigers at Littlejohn are loving it right now. Clemson with a 3-point lead. Harder really having to take command of running this offense with Code on the bench. Or Turbe can touch it because Capel had a hand on it. Ragland now works at it. 8 on the shot clock. Clemson will be looking shot now. And Turbe tries to take Meek inside. Ball lost on the rebound. Jump ball possession Clemson. Turbe just got enough of it there to cause the tie-up. Rick Barnes happy with what his team has been able to do. Kenny Blakeney coming into the ballgame again. Turbe now with 10 rebounds in this game as Ricky Price checks out. Harder to inbound. We wind our way down to the 5-minute mark. Clemson clinging to a 3-point lead. Harder looking inside. Turbe won't take that shot. Although he has hit 50% of his three-pointers. 11 out of 22. Harder. Another big drive by Bill Harder.
He's shown a lot of excellent quickness. That time going to his left, using a nice little left hand for the bank shot.
Ties the biggest lead either side has had this afternoon. 41-36, Clemson in the lead. Capel for 3. He got his 5th three-pointer of the game.
Well, that'll make him come out of that zone, and if Capel can keep hitting that outside shot, it's going to loosen it up for Cherokee and Eric Meeks to do some damage inside.
Capel, a 41% three-point shooter, has brought Duke within 2. That's the 8th three-pointer that Duke has had this afternoon. They don't have many two-point baskets. Blocking foul is going to be charged to Jeff Capel. Wait a minute. There's a discussion. There may be a change here. 2 officials are talking it over in front of the Clemson bench. One says charge, the other says block. Did Harder have position, or did Capel get there late? And they're still talking it over at the scorer's table. Rick Barnes talking it over. Pete Gaudette now comes over to see what's going on. A bang-bang call. One official called it charge, another called it block. You decide. Is Capel there? The possession arrow is to Duke. What have they decided? They're going to give it to Duke. They're going to call it offensive. Harder picking up his 2nd. Or is it a double foul? It is a double foul. And Ragland picks up the foul for Clemson. A double foul. We'll be back. Here the coach is talking it over. Here's what happened as Pete Gaudette and Rick Barnes really upset here with the officials. They've called a double foul. And here's the play that it happened on. Bill Harder making the move. Capel gets there. Now what has happened, one official on the end line has called it charge. The official out near midcourt has called it a blocking foul against Duke. They decided to agree to disagree, call it a double foul. Possession arrow goes to Duke, and the Blue Devils get the ball down by 2. 3:58 left to go. Clemson has effectively shut off the inside to Duke all afternoon. Here's Parks. Parks ties it up. 41 all.
I think when Cherokee got that dunk inside, it kind of energized him a little bit. He's getting up, elevating a little higher on that jump shot now.
Iturbe back the other way now. Here's Bill Harder. The third drive to the hole. Bill Harder has hit his last 3 drives and puts Clemson out in front, 43-41.
Harder had an excellent game at Cameron Indoor Stadium early in the year.
Big basket to seal the win there. Capel tries a 3-pointer. Buckner with a rebound. Clemson out rebounding Duke 32-17.
We said earlier Clemson is 9-0 when they out rebound their opponents. That time 2 Duke players were together. You got to talk to each other.
Duke has come out of their zone. They're in the man-to-man. Rayfield Ragland trying to drag Parks out with it. 2:48 left to go in this quick-moving second half. 10 on the shot clock. Buckner slipped through 2 Duke defenders. It'll be Clemson ball. And in comes Merle Code.
See, the ball doesn't touch anything. Well, it touches the rim, but it comes straight down. Capel gets a little hand on it, goes right through his legs.
New clock now for Clemson. Code comes back in the ball game, so his absence for about 4 minutes. He gets the basket inside. The last 4 Clemson baskets have come inside.
And that was a screen, a backdoor screen that time. No one helped out, not talking to each other.
Got a timeout called by Duke as the Clemson Tigers lead it 45-41. We'll return after these messages from the Atlantic Coast Conference. Nations Bank, a corporate partner of the 1996 Olympics, presents this Olympic trivia question. What do the 5 colors of the Olympic rings represent? All of Walter's wardrobe. Here are the last 2 Clemson baskets. This is Bill Harder. That's his 3rd penetration for a drive.
And you see there, Jeff Capel was looking for the help there, and there was no help. Nice little backdoor pick. Pass inside, bounce pass not easily stolen. Cole makes the layup.
Clemson getting points in the paint when it counts. Clemson now changes up to a man-to-man. Parks can't get him. Iturbe steals. Big steal by Iker Iturbe. And with under 2 minutes to go, Clemson with a 4-point lead and the ball. The clock their ally now. Iturbe battling Meek in the backcourt to get it. Down, Code is in position. Foul coming up on Blakeney. All right, let's get that Nations Bank trivia question again. What do the 5 colors of the Olympic rings represent? Well, at least one color appears in the flag of every nation represented in the world's 5 continents. Walter wanted to say it, I wouldn't let him. But you've got to be amazed, Walter, at what Clemson's been able to accomplish with their offense here this afternoon.
Well, they totally took over the game with the tempo. That's what they wanted to do. They're executing very well. And like I said earlier, when you execute that way, you're in good rebounding position, and they're out rebounding Duke 32-17.
Merle Code with his 11th point. He has 4 rebounds and an assist to go with it. That was the 17th foul on Clemson, on Duke rather. 1-on-1. Second half of it for Code. He's true to it. 47-41, 6-point lead. Timeout Duke to talk things over. The Blue Devils now have 1 timeout remaining, and they have a 6-point buffer, which in this game, Walter, looks like it might as well be 20, the way that Clemson has played defensively today.
Yes, they have, and they really got Duke out of their game. They haven't been able to get some easy baskets. Maybe 1 or 2 baskets have been easy. They had to work for everything they've got, and I think they're a little tired.
I can't imagine or think of a time in this second half where Duke has been able to post up one of their bigger players inside.
Initially in the first half, they got a couple post-up moves, but the defense collapsed on them so fast. Second half, one little penetration move to Cherokee Park, and he got that dunk. That's really about all they've had in the paint.
All right, if you're Pete Gaudet and his staff of Mike Bray and Tommy Amaker, what do you try to accomplish here to get yourself? You've got to really have 3 possessions in the final minute 32.
Yes, I think on this possession here, if the outside shot is open, they're going to go for it. Look for Jeff Capel to take that. But initially, they're going to try to look inside. I think they have to, since they're not shooting the ball that well outside.
And they've got to do it quickly with 1:32 left.
Yeah.
They know that once they give up the ball, if they either miss the shot or Clemson's dragging it out of the net, it could be 35 seconds before they see it again.
That's true. And Clemson is an excellent free throw shooting team, shooting 69%.
And tonight, we've got more ACC action coming your way. The Wolfpack of NC State taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels, trying to maintain first place in the ACC. We'll see it on many of these same stations. Duke with the ball, trailing by 6. Here's Langdon from the corner for 3. Got it. And a timeout now called by Duke, their final timeout. Or was that last timeout was charged to Clemson? So this is Duke's. They'd have 1 timeout remaining beyond this. So Clemson has 2, Duke has 1.
Well, see, the play is designed for Capel to penetrate, make the defense suck in, give the Langdon some room to get that shot off, and he buries the 3. Tell a lot about a player in the closing minutes of a game if he was willing to take that shot, or if he shies away from the basketball.
Trajan Langdon was willing to take that shot against North Carolina 2 nights ago, and he hit 5 3-pointers, helped bring his team back from one of 2 big deficits in that game. Here's the reset. The possession, of course, important. It goes to Clemson. Neither team has any fouls to give. We're in the 1-on-1 both ways, although Duke, or rather Clemson, has 9 team fouls. And then you saw the timeouts remaining as well. They're having fun here at Littlejohn, but they're not out of the woods yet. Clemson up by 3. They'll have to take good care of the ball in this possession, which they have done all game long, Walter. But it's important for them to pay it off with a basket.
Yes, it's true. It's very important play. Big possession here for Clemson. They have the momentum on their side, and they're going to work that clock. They're going to be patient, waiting for that defense to make a mistake, and they're going to try to take advantage of it.
And they're going to face full court pressure, obviously. Yes. Capel, Langdon, Price, Meek, and Parks. Buckner to Code, and now to Iturbe. Important they got it to a big man, so the guards couldn't get involved in the steal.
Well, a lot of times Clemson will invert, have the guards inside, and the big men are the primary ball handlers.
Ragland, top of the floor. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 1 minute to play in this one. Clemson clinging to a 3-point lead. Code to Iturbe. Meek is out hard. 9 on the shot clock. Code blocked by Capel. Maintained by Iturbe. Shot clock still running. And Parks gets the ball. Code tried to call for a timeout but could not. Capel back the other way. Duke down by 3. Here's Langdon. Offensive foul is going to be charged to Trajan Langdon.
But Langdon sees the guy coming out, wants to go past him. But Ragland got that elbow, moved his feet very well to get that charge.
He threw the shoulder in, and that's what he was called for on the offensive foul. 18 foul against Duke, 29.5 seconds left to go. Clemson leading by 3. Bill Harder comes back in, and now Clemson is going to take a time to talk things over. Each team has 1 timeout remaining. We'll hold it here with 29.5 seconds left to go. What a finish between Clemson and Duke here this afternoon. Clemson on the verge now, Walter, of doing something that they haven't done since 1976, and that is sweep the Blue Devils in the season series.
Yes, that's true. It's been awful tough to do. You know, Duke University last 10 years has been a great basketball team. I still think they're the best 10-10 team in the country. It's awful tough watching them play and to see that they haven't won an ACC game yet.
And seeing how close they've come, we cited at the outset. As you see Clemson get the ball down to the back door, they've been able to do it. However, Capel comes up with a big block there.
Well, the Duke has to be really aggressive now, and they're trying to get a steal, lead to a quick basket, so they're really susceptible to that backdoor play, but Capel made a great block.
And by all means, or by all rights, Duke should have been able to get a shot off. Langdon would have, but he charged down on the baseline, and that gives the ball back now to Clemson. Clemson has to come the length of the floor with 29.5 seconds left to go. Shot clock is gone. Duke obviously will put on some full court pressure and attempt to get the steal. If they can't get the steal, then they've got to look to foul.
They're going to foul right away. They don't want a lot of time to go off the clock because the possessions are going down now.
Clemson not a great free throw shooting team. Code gets it. Wojciechowski will foul him in backcourt. That is the 9th team foul now on Duke. So that means that Code will go to the line. Code is an 82% free throw shooter. He's probably the best free throw shooter that Clemson has. And there's Clemson on the afternoon. They've gone to the line 15 times. The fact that Duke has only gone 6 tells you what a good job Clemson has done inside defensively. Chris Collins is in. Wojciechowski is out.
Another three-point shot threat in there with Collins. Make the defense stretch out, find someone open.
Well, you see Codes missed twice. This is the front half of the 1-and-1. Big basket.
Usually in pressure situations like this, as a former player, that first shot is the toughest one to make, but Cole, I don't think it touched any of the rim at all.
He's been pretty true on his last 4, now 5. 14 points from Merle Code. Duke needs 2 possessions to win. Capel kicks it in. Price will go for the 2. Parks gets stripped of it by Harder. It's lost on the baseline, and it's Clemson ball. .4 seconds left. Clemson with a 5-point lead. Iturbe comes out. Kelly is in. Martin getting set to inbound. Just gets it in time to Kelly. And Kelly gets fouled immediately. And it's going to be on Ricky Price. That's going to be his 3rd. That's the 10th team foul now on Duke. So it's an automatic 2 coming up for Clemson. Well, more ACC action coming your way tonight. Prime time at 8 o'clock as North Carolina State goes to North Carolina. Tar Heels looking for a little revenge. They lost to the Wolfpack last time around under a barrage of 3-pointers. And, of course, the Tar Heels coming off that emotionally big win over Duke in double overtime. Kelly hits the free throw. Duke by 7. 11.4 seconds left. And the Blue Devils are still in search of their first win. They've got a lot of business to do with 11 seconds to go. Listen to this sellout crowd. Capel in front court. Collins Bounce to Capel for three. Doesn't get it. Clemson win. They rush the floor at Littlejohn. It's Clemson's first sweep of Duke since the 1976-77 season. It's Clemson's first win at home in the ACC. And there you see it. The Tigers come off with a win. The final, Clemson 51, Duke 44. We'll be right back to Littlejohn in Clemson after this message from Bud Light.
ACC action has been brought to you by Nations Bank, by MCI, by Pizza Hut, and by Nationwide Insurance.
Well, welcome back to Littlejohn Coliseum. Pandemonium has broken out, and with good reason. This hasn't happened since the 1976-77 season, where Clemson has swept Duke in a season series. And we've got the victorious coach, Rick Barnes, standing by here with us. And Rick, congratulations on a big win. You came in with a game plan. You felt that you'd see a lot of man-to-man from Duke. You did, and you were able to execute your offense.
Well, I thought we did, but I really thought today a big key was our defense. I thought we were outstanding on that end, and I thought we did probably the best job we've done all year long, blocking out and doing a great job on the boards.
You know,
well, I thought also, Coach, in practice yesterday, you stressed that the team not hit the open man right away and not do a lot of dribbling. Were you concerned about Duke's defense?
I really was, but lately it's been more us just dribbling the ball too much. We wanted to get more ball movement, but Duke's a very good defensive team, and we just had to. A couple players, I thought we were a little tentative early with our offense, but Harder came in, made some good things happen, and coming down the stretch, we did what we had to do to win.
Well, you talk about defense. I don't think I can remember in the second half of Duke being able to post up anybody inside.
Well, again, we talked a lot about that we had to really get a lot of help from our perimeter players, knowing that we were going to give them the outside shot, but try to recover back. And I thought at one time when they really started hurting us, they really started driving the ball back in, and we just had to really work hard today at shutting down the paint, and it was a great team effort.
Well, you worried about this team possibly hitting the wall. They ran right through the wall today.
Well, it was good, and we're at this point in our season where we've got to do this, and it was a great win for our guys.
Well, Rick, congratulations. Great win for the Clemson Tigers as they defeat the Duke Blue Devils by a score of 51-44. A great effort by all. Merle Code with 14. Greg Buckner had 14 as well. And Bill Harder had 8, including 3 big dribble drives for baskets as the Clemson Tigers out-rebound Duke 38-19 and win it by a score of 51-44. Our thanks to all the fine people who have brought you our ACC basketball game between Clemson and Duke this afternoon, and thanks as well to Walter Davis for joining us on ACC basketball. Of course, coming up tonight, it's another ACC battle, North Carolina and North Carolina State from Chapel Hill. You'll see it at 9 o'clock. The final score from Clemson, the Tigers 51, Duke 40.